What it do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta Army. Thank you guys so much for liking, watching, and subscribing. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to play the King Vegeta deck that I've been playing. It's honestly might be my favorite deck. I'm playing this, I'm playing Yellow Gold Tanks, I'm playing a lot of Red Vegeta decks, and I'm really having fun with this one. So I did a deck profile, and if you want to see that, go to this very channel, go like 3 videos ago, and it should be there. It's basically the deck I'm running it now. I've added a couple of things to it that I'm going to show you guys, but this is basically just, if you want to play the deck, here's what you do step by step, okay? So the first thing you should know about the deck, first of all, what it does. And if you want to know what it does, go to that video, check it out. I go in detail on what the leader does, but doesn't matter. Now the first thing you want to know, once you know the basics of it, meaning the deck list and what the leader does, is what do you mulligan for, right? So you start the game and you draw 6. Now you need to keep and put back certain cards. This deck needs you to keep Return of the King in hand. So if you don't see Return of the King, the field card, you need to put everything else back and look for Return of the King. Now, do keep in mind that the leader does search for Return of the King, so remember, sometimes I'll keep a super combo. Like if I see Nappa, Nappa's the second most important card to keep in the deck. And the reason for that is because, now, the leader, every turn, he takes a life, and then he looks at the top 5 cards of your deck for a green or a red Saiyan, right? So this means that you're always going to find your super combos or any card that you're searching for that you're running, but it also searches for Return of the King. But you only have really like 2 turns to do that. I mean, you can do that indefinitely, but remember that you are taking your own life, and that is kind of like a ticking time bomb. Like the more turns go on and you're on the unawakened side, like the worse it gets. So just be mindful of that. As a good rule of thumb, always mulligan for Return of the King. And then second most importantly for Nappa. Third most importantly is you are going to need skillless cards. You do want to mulligan. Like the skillless card is probably the third most important card in the deck to search for. So let's go into what to look for and what to do after that mulligan step, okay? Now that we've mulliganed, right, and we have a Return the King or we have a super combo, we go into the turn 1. Now let me explain why that's important as far as the turn goes, right? So, by the way, this isn't like a god hand. You're not always going to see this, but I'm just trying to explain exactly like how it's going to go, and I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, so turn 1, if you ever, this is just me, if I ever see 2 fields when I mulligan, I'll keep both. I know that sounds weird, but it does 2 things for me. 1, it reduces the odds of me seeing the field after turn 1, because turn 1 is the only time you want to see the field. If you ever charge and you see another field and then draw another one, it sucks, because there's nothing you can do with the field. That's why I used to run the Bardock Overrealm that makes you drop 1 and draw 2, just so I could get rid of the field. It just sucks. So if I ever see 2 fields in my mulligan, I'll actually keep both. If you don't, I get it. You want to draw more great cards, but this leader searches everything in your deck, honestly. So there's really nothing you should be looking for. The only thing that you need to do is be good at finding the field. And again, if I see 2, I'm keeping 2 in hand. Why? Because turn 1, we're charging multicolor, right? So if we're charging multicolor and we run enough multicolor cards, the best multicolor to charge is the field if you have a spare one, right? So turn 1, we're going to get down here and we're going to charge the field. This is our turn 1 play, right? You're always charging the field because it's going to have energy exhaust. So like after turn 1, that sucks. Okay, so it's turn 1. The great thing about this leader is that he has a turn 0. That means that when you go first, you have an activate main, but you can't swing at your opponent because it's turn 1 or turn 0, how people call it. However, some leaders don't have to swing in order to plus, so that's what makes King Vegeta great again. It reminds me of Vegeta. So he can take a life, and then he looks at the top 5 for either the Return of the King or for a Saiyan, right? Okay, so now it's the opponent's turn. They swing at you. They do whatever it is they do. Not much, honestly. So you swing, you untap. From now on, you're charging red energy. And by red, I mean mono red. So like the Kabas, the Borgos, and any of the many red cards you run in your deck, I'm running my deck like as red as humanly possible. And as 0.5k as like humanly possible. So turn 2, I charge this, right? So I charge my 1 red, I have my multicolor turn 2. So turn 2, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a life again with King Vegeta. I'm going to look at the top 5, and what I'm looking for really is as many super combos as I can, because now, again, we know what the leader does now, right? Now, what does the field do? The field is a card that when you play it for 2, and that's what we're going to be doing next turn. We're going to tap for 2, play the field, and as soon as you play the field, you get to play a skillless card from hand. So you play a 2-drop, right? And then you draw 2 cards. This is great because, I mean, drawing 2 always feels good, but you're getting to play a 20k for free. Now, that's not exactly plus yet, but it does incrementally get really aggressive, right? Okay, so we've done this. We looked at the top 5 with the leader, and we grabbed a Saiyan. Doesn't matter. It can be literally any card ever, right? Okay, then we're ready to awaken. Okay, so how the fuck do we even do that anymore? I totally forgot. I haven't played on top in like a day or 2. Okay, so you untap the red and the green in case you need the green. The only time you're ever gonna need a green energy in this deck is to arrival this Goku here, or to play the field, right? Okay, once you awaken, you untap and you draw 1. Okay, and then as soon as you do, once per turn, your leader has an effect that says you can either play a skillless or give your leader 5k on double strike for the turn by popping one of your Saiyans. Usually I just like playing a second skillless. So turn 2, you have a leader swing, 2 20ks, and an energy. And what I like to do with this energy turn 2 is either play a Borgos that draws me a card, very cool, and he's going to have that bond 3, and he gets to swing with for 15k, or I can play a Saiyan Kaba if I want to be a little bit more aggressive. If I'm not exactly at like 5 life yet, and I have a clone token in my hand, Saiyan Kaba is a pretty great choice. I like maining Saiyan Kaba. I think he's a really slept on card. It's 15k double. So again, and then here's where we're going to go into why Nappa is so good, this turn 2 especially. This is the card I'm really usually looking for, is Nappa. Once per turn with the field, I think you should all know by now, but I'm going to go into it just in case some of you are watching for the first time. You get to combo a green-red skillless once per turn. And it's activate battle, which means it happens on my turn and on my opponent's turn once per turn, right? So, but the only red-green battle card that I know of that's free is Nappa. The only one would be Raditz, but Raditz is a 5k combo, and Nappa is a 10k. So we want to see him as early as possible, so we can start plussing off of the Return of the King as early as possible. So we're going to swing with Kaba, okay? And then we're going to combo from hand, make him 25k double strike. Then we're going to swing with the 20k, and then since he's on board, I'm going to combo up to 30. And then he's going to go to the drop area. And then I'm going to swing with leader. And then I'm going to use his effect to combo from the drop area. And at any of these swings, if I feel like my opponent's going down way too much, I can just like arrival this guy. You know what I mean? Or I can leave this energy up defensively or something. Like, if you don't want to play the Kaba instead, like if you just want to keep the Kaba in hand, you can always just arrival this dude. Or if you think you don't want to overextend, you know what I mean? So like this Goku and Gogeta are just like auxiliary things that you can do instead of your plan, I guess. Because the plan turn 2 is to play 2 skillless cards, right? And then this one energy, so you're like, do I want to be aggressive with these 1-drops? Or do I want to be defensive next turn with Gogeta Resonant Explosion? When Gogeta Resonant Explosion is played with a rival red-green, he gets to pop a battle card that's like, I believe 4 or less. Is it 4 or less or 5 or less? I always forget. Yeah, 4 or less. And it's only once per turn, so be careful. But it's like insane. The Goku's really good too, though, actually. Every time your opponent combos and it's your opponent's turn, you can once per turn like take that card out of their opponent's hand. So it kills the combo step. It's really cool, but the reason I actually like him is because he's 1-drop 20k double strike for the arrival price, right? So once you, and here's the thing too, your battle cards become really tall turn 2, because like turn 2, you combo with Nappa, you play him, you swing with something else, you combo with Nappa again, he goes to a drop area, and then you swing with something else, and then you combo with Nappa again because you get to use it with the field. So like you're going really tall really early with a lot of like dumb shit. And it's just weird. Like, I mean, you go really, really tall because you get to use Nappa like 3 times. And at any of these times, you can just arrival. There's a lot of times I also run this Vegeta that I play him turn 2, and I just swing because he's 10k. You get me? I've seen times where, like, I'll play 2 Nappas turn 2, and I'll swing with both of them. Just because I know it's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. And if my opponent doesn't swing at them on their turn 2, they're going to be negging. Because usually their decks don't do as much damage as mine does turn 2. So, like, they can swing at my life and what? Deal 1 damage and leave my huge board, like, untouched. But you're going to have to be good at knowing who to go wide and aggro with and who to, like, keep an energy up against. Like, if I'm playing against Jiren, I'll keep that energy up turn 2. If I'm playing against, like, SS4 Vegeta, yeah, I'm going to push your shit in as much as I can. Okay, so we've done turn 2, right? Again, let's say that we end up using this energy for, I don't know, Borgos. I like Borgos because he draws me a card. And, like, once I have this Nappa on the drop area, I just have, like infinite combo. I'm not simulating this right now because I want this to be a perfect hand to show you usually what it does. But this deck draws a lot of cards. Every time you play shit for free and you're drawing. Okay, so let's say we go into turn 3, right? Let's untap, we charge. I like by the way, testing the opposition is good when you're at 5 energy or 5 life, and then for free I like doing Vegeta's imposing presence. I think I run like 2 of these. It's very weird knowing like the ratio, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go into turn 3, okay? You can do so many things turn 3, but this is like my favorite thing to do turn 3. Okay, so you swing with leader. You swing with, oh my god, can I please swing with leader? Okay, I swing with leader. Okay, this is the first thing I'm doing, okay? So I'm swinging with leader, and they say no negates, okay? So you're like, bet. You combo this Vegeta, right? Once he's in a combo, since you're comboing the Vegeta, it's going to give your leader a 5k combo, right? So your leader's 20k now. Okay. Now, you tap 1 for his effect. This is like my favorite card. In my original deck profile, I don't have Vegeta Royal Evolution. He might be my favorite card in the game now. He's so sick. So my leader's 20k. I tap 1 for Vegeta Royal Evolution's effect, and I stand him up, and I give him another 5k. So now my leader is what? 25k? Like a 25k leader that's swinging. And then I can combo with Nappa, and since I have 2 red cards, I can tap 2 energy and play... Where's he at? I play Son Goku, and then Son Goku is going to give my leader another 5k. So now I'm swinging for 30k at whatever it is I'm swinging at, hopefully leader. And I'm untapped. Like, it's such a cool move. Now, yeah, I'm tapping out, but I am playing, like, clone tokens, and I'm playing imposing presence, and I am playing Pan in this deck. And I'm playing a deck that can, like, combo for free. So that's, like, not to be slept on. So now I have a 30k coming at you, another 30k coming at you that ignores, like, you know, it's a leader. So it doesn't need deflect or barrier. It's not going to get popped, you know. Obviously, caution against yellow decks, because they can power of a Super Saiyan certain cards. They can, like, Samasu, like, you know, like, just be careful what you're playing against. But I'm just showing you the basic play, right? Okay, so you've comboed Vegeta. You've comboed Nappa. And if you see, by the way, the coolest thing about this is, like, we're doing this with 1 Nappa. You're going to find, like, 2 or 3 Nappas every turn, because your leader just fucking searches for it, right? Okay, so now you have 2 30ks here. You have your 20k, your 20k. You're going to swing twice with this 25k. And just remember that you're going to be playing another skill list. So you're actually now with, like, 3 skill lists. And this deck just goes really wide. When you top it off with, like, fighting against Fate and Pan, this deck can really do some damage. Let me show you an alternative. By the way, like, that's not, like, this isn't even, like, the nuts. Like, this is just, like, you're going to just probably do that all the time. Now, the problem isn't whether you're going to be able to do it or not. Your problem is going to be knowing who to do it against and know how to do it. So, like, sometimes if you're playing against an aggressive deck, this tap out isn't as smart. If you don't have Testing the App or Pan or King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, and you don't know if you're going to be able to get them, it'll be hard to test the waters on the tap out. A lot of times I'll swing with my skillless cards first to see if they have, like, a Topo Righteous Aid or a Floodgate or something, like, you know, maybe a Dormant. You want to test the waters first, and if you see that they don't have anything, like, yet, then you're going to go in on them. Now, you do a lot of early, like, on turn 2, again, I'll play like 2 Nappas and I'll swing with both of them. And I'll arrival this little 10k here and I'll swing with him too, just to get as many swings in, because I can go very tall and I don't mind going short and wide on turn 2 instead of comboing the Nappa to go too early on, because they're just going to take it turn 2 anyway. Like if I swing at you for 10k turn 1, you're going to take it because who gives a shit. So I'd rather do more smaller swings on turn 2 than like 2 tall swings, because they're always going to take it anyway, right? So, and then that way on turn 3 when you're swinging really tall, it like matters. So anyway, okay, let me show you another play, because I'm trying to do this quick for you guys. You guys I know have a fucking ADD. I'm just kidding. All right, so let me put Vegeta away. Such a good card. Also, like defensively, it's like a minus 10,000. It's such a, and it's 0.5k and it's red. I'm saying, oh, it's so good. It also, like, it is a 2-drop. You could just play with leader effect for free and swing for 15k. Like, it'll lose its skill, but you know, whatever. Another thing you can do with this leader is you swing with him, right? You pop him with leader effect. You give leader 5k double strike. So now he's 20k double, right? Okay, so you swing for 20k double. Nothing happens, whatever. And he takes it, maybe he doesn't. And then you swing with him for 20k. Then you combo Vegeta. You untap one, or you tap one to bring him up again. And now you give him this pump to make him 25k. So you bring him up again. I mean, you're just making your leader beater again. He loses the double strike, but he keeps the pump. It's just another avenue of approach. It's a little cheaper. It's a little something else. You can go and use the Nappa at this point, maybe on the leader swing or this Goku swing, and you can always arrival for free this guy. And when he's played, he negs something 10,000. It's really cool. 5,000. I'm sorry, but it's really cool because like, you can get rid of like, you know, fucking annoying shit that your opponent, like 1-drops your opponent may have. But one thing I really like about this is when you have 3 energy. I was doing this wrong. I didn't know at first, but whatever. So if you have 3 energy, you can tap an energy and swap. And swap is really cool because it like, it's not neg. Like when you swap, you put a card in board and you swap the other one back to hand. So you're not losing hand size. And this is a straight +1 because not only are you returning King Vegeta back to your hand, but you're also looking at the top 5 for a red card that's 5 or less. And you know, that includes the red-green cards. So like you search your whole deck, including super combos. So this is a cute little play. Swinging with him, and you still have this energy up. Again, if you don't have the Goku or whatever, or you only have the Vegeta, this is also like a really good play. And it's not just about in case you don't have the Goku. It's also about like maybe you don't want to tap out. Maybe you don't want to tap 2. Maybe you want to leave 2 open next turn. Some decks, like if you're going, and you're going to have to play this way defensively, and I'll tell you when. Like if you're playing against Red Jiren and you lost the die roll, you better play a little bit reserved. You better play a little bit like humbled, like because that deck will clap your cheeks if you don't. Red Gohan, Red Vegeta, other red decks, maybe aggressive. It doesn't have to be red. There's a lot of aggressive decks. Gogeta, you know, like there's shit that will fuck your day up. But you have to be smart. You have to know what you're doing. Yeah, using the leader effect. Also, one cool thing. Let's say that you have Vegeta on board, right? You know, to the next level. So you swing with the Vegeta, right? Because when you play Vegeta, you swap the King Vegeta back to hand, okay? So you've swapped, okay? You do it, and then you can KO this Vegeta if you have a second one in hand. Swing with leader, because now he has double strike, because you've KO'd a Saiyan, so he gets 5k double, you draw a card. And then you arrival him by comboing the Nappa. And then once he's on board, you can Vegeta again, because he has unique. So, like, not crazy, but, like, I'm just saying, like, you can do Vegeta a couple of times, because you can pop him, since he has unique. Just saying. And it's cool playing 2 a turn, because you get to look at the top 5 for 2 Saiyans or whatever. And, yeah, like, the deck is extremely aggressive. And has really high potential for defense, actually, because, you know, Pan is a Saiyan, so we can run her. You have, like, free combo arrivals. I know that this King Vegeta doesn't seem very broken to you guys, maybe, but he's actually very clutch. I think, like, what really puts this deck above is Bandai's good design. of this Vegeta and this Goku, I think this is like a great turn 3 play. I think this Vegeta and Goku are probably my favorite combo in the game right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is my favorite combo for one, and he does so much. If you're playing a red deck, it's especially good in Jiren. I'm not gonna lie. If you're playing Jiren and you're evolving and you're making him tall, I was just watching the Battle Hour, and Andrew Duvall and the other guy, who else was? I feel like a dick. I forget who he's playing against. Oh God, the guy that won. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. And he was comboing the Vegeta on Jiren after the evolve, and the Jiren was like 30k. And Bryce Samuel, that's it. And it was really good. So if you're playing Jiren, it's really good. If you're playing any red deck, this is really good. And it also like counts as the combo. Defensively though, you don't combo the Vegeta, you simply tap on a discarded and you -10 something. That's important to know because playing this Goku Divine Presence defensively is also really good because you get to give your leader a 5k pump defensively. So it's just worth noting. The fact that he can't be removed on your turn is really cool too as well. But a lot of defensive shit if you know how to play this deck. You gotta be careful because you can have fallen prey to this where I've gotten very greedy very early and then I've gassed out and then gotten hit with the clapback. But you have the resources to go incredibly aggressive and still have like a defensive turn. And then once it comes to turn 3, if they didn't make plans to like, stop you, they're done. So this is a really cool best of 1 deck. There's sideboard options. Go to my deck profile to see what they are. Let me know what you guys think. Honestly, like, what do you guys think about this deck? I hope this helps you guys. That not only like you guys saw the deck profile and like want to now know how to play the deck. So I hope this does help. I can do more of these for other decks, but it's been really fun doing it. Testing with this King Vegeta deck. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? Don't forget to kiss your homies goodnight, and wish you a good one.